Hi, Mike. My name's Dan DiCataldo. I'm with Signia, the manufacturer. I work with Dennis. Thank you for joining us today. We're just going to ask you three quick questions about your experience with hearing loss and things of that nature. Um, what would you say would be the first reason why you decided to address your hearing loss?
Well, I began to realize a few years ago that, especially in a large group, I didn't wasn't catching it all. Especially, I live in a large institutional type building, a large dining room. So when everybody's around the round table, uh, there was a lot of distraction, a lot of external noises. So I began to realize that something wasn't quite right. So I decided to take a look at it.
Awesome. It's good that you realize that. That's a very common sentiment from many folks. But since you've addressed that issue, what would you say your experience has been here with community hearing services and Dennis in particular?
Well, having come here, I first of all, they never have to wait for an appointment. It's always on time or a little bit early. Always very pleasant. The secretary or his assistants were always very understanding and very forthcoming. Um, but generally, it's all positive. Without going into a lot of detail. It was again on time. He did all the testing with the machines, and it turned out that I definitely had a hearing loss, and he took care of it. So much so that I came back just about a month ago, and I was experiencing the same thing, but more so. No, not more so. Yes, more so. Not hearing people. And especially if a person dropped his voice, like our conversation, no problem. If you had dropped your voice a little bit, then I'd have a difficulty. So again, testing, and found out that my hearing had dropped. So he adjusted it, and it's good.
Well, that's great to hear. And since you've been wearing the devices since they've been most recently adjusted, how would you say your experience has been overall with the new technology?
Well, I'm in amazement at the new technology to start with. Um, and I know they keep making advances, and I hope that I'll be part of that, progress. But it's so much easier than it used to be. When you went to, I've always had trouble with my ears. I had two tympanoplasties, so every time you go to the ear doctor for checkup, they would check my hearing, and it was pretty stable, but down a little bit, but not too much. But the fact that they could tell me that, and then of course. Dr. Marin has all kinds of machines and so forth, which obviously knows how to work, and they work for me.
Awesome. And if you could tell anybody one thing about this office, what would you tell them?
Very professional.
Awesome.